welcome to Spirit Storm with Gigi. My name is Gloria, and I'm excited to bring to you an incredible spoken word artist today. But before I bring her on, I want you to listen to a piece that she's written called Big. Stay tuned.
A body with thick muscles, thick fat, and thick skin to protect myself from people's thin words. You see, there's a lot of connotations that come with the word big. And girls, trust me, if you are called big, embrace the fact that you have the biggest heart that beats harder than any other because it's too easy to love. Big arms to comfort the souls of others trying to find theirs. A big body as a safety blanket when the impact of their partner's words causes an explosion right in front of them. Now tell me, what's better? To go unnoticed or to be the person that takes someone's breath away? Not once, but twice. Double take. Embrace yourself. For your curves have expressions that would make thin people want to be you. Look after yourself because although you will not fit into every clothes, you still fit into a skinny man's heart. Don't let anyone tell you that being big is a bad thing, because I've given you many reasons why you should be proud. Whatever pounds you carry is yours, and you can only lose it on your terms and nobody else's. So, Mrs. Big, flaunt those thick muscles, thick fat, and thick skin, because big is the sexiest thing you'll ever see in your life.
Welcome back. Okay, I have with me an incredible spoken word artist called Princess. Not only is she a spoken word artist, she's also a video and content creator. She's incredibly creative, incredibly great. I love her. I know her. I want you to get to know her through our conversation today. Shouldn't speak too much and give away too much, but Princess.
Hi.
Hey, welcome. Thank you for coming on Spirit Storm.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. I mean, it's exciting to have you today in gloomy London. But it's great to have you. You've written an incredible spoken word piece.
Yeah.
That's not your first time writing something incredible. You're featured on many big platforms. People might not know she's an award winner. Like, she's out there. Her name's out there, and if you don't know her, you better find her social media handle after this conversation today, because you'll be glad you came across her. You will give us your details later, right?
100%.
Awesome. So I want our viewers and our listeners to get to know you a little bit better. So I got some cards out here. One says I have, one says I never. Well, never. So the concept is that you're going to answer a few questions.
Yep.
And you're going to tell us whether you have or you've never.
Okay, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's called Never Have I Ever.
Cool.
Right? So the first thing is never have I ever stayed up for more than 24 hours. You know you're having those church meetings. You
Definitely have.
What was the situation? Was it reading for exams, or was it a phone call?
No, okay, it wasn't 24 hours. Well, I would say I would say it was like from all night rehearsals to a show.
Okay.
And then to like church the next day.
Yeah, I hear that.
And that was like near enough like past 24 hours. Oh. It was crazy. I was knackered after that.
I can only imagine. I know, when you see for so long, when you haven't slept in so long, you start to literally see stars. 100%. And you feel like everything's super magnified, everything's louder and bigger, and it's crazy. It's a crazy situation. 100%. Next question. Never have I ever regifted a gift that was given to me. You have?
Yes. I'm not gonna lie.
What was it?
Like, I think it was a bottle.
In case the person listening, you gotta be a little low key on it. In case.
I think it was a
bottle of something?
Yeah, a bottle of wine or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you know the worst gifts? Or let's talk about it actually.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not saying this a gift is a gift, but what's up with people giving people shower gels? Like, I take a bath. Like, don't be giving me no
I'm not
shower
gonna lie,
gel.
I'm a bit guilty on that one. Guilty on that one. Like, but that was like 2 years ago. That was the last thing, like 2 years ago. I'm a bit guilty with that one. But like, I thought about it and I was just like, I mean, they could go to the shop and get shower gels.
Right,
so
I remember getting a shower gel set. It was nice. Cowshed, you know, the brand, John Lewis. And I was thinking, it's so expensively good. You should have given me the voucher.
True.
Right?
And nowadays, like, I think I would think about what someone needs, and then I would give it as a gift, or just give it as a like probably money. But like, as African, it's with your like elders, like you can't really give them money. So it's like, now I like with friends, if they're 3 years older than me, I'm like, do I give them money? But I'm younger than them, so what do I do? How do I get them a present? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's pretty crazy. I hear that. Well, that's pretty, what about this? Never, ever have I missed a flight. You mentioned being African, and there's this thing about Africans in the airports. It's it's a funny situation. People say Africans could be late for everything else but a flight.
It's true.
So have you missed a flight before?
I have.
Oh my God.
Never.
Okay, all right.
Like, with flight, like, I'm so excited to go that what's sleep? Sleep where? How? What? No way. Like, normally I would get a flight that's like 6:30 a.m. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm staying up. Like, I don't care. I can't miss that flight. Like, my Uber is scheduled for like 3:45 a.m. I am getting to that airport. Like, I can't see how people miss flights. Like, you've paid so much money and then you've just lost it. How? Like,
crazy. I remember getting a text once. I was traveling. I think I was going to Lagos, and I got a message saying, oh, the flight was like 6 a.m. or at some point. You got to be at the airport pretty early. And they were like, can you leave the house at 3 a.m.? And I was like thinking, why would I leave the house at 3 a.m.? The airport's an hour away. Like, it's a little ridiculous. But I hear that. Yeah, it's pretty painful to miss a flight. Oof. Well, let's it's great. It's incredible. Let's get right into it. I don't want us to get caught away and caught up in our never ever situation. So, Princess, tell us a little bit about yourself. I've mentioned already that you're a spoken word artist. You've written a great piece that you're going to talk about today, particularly your video and content creator. But when people see Princess, who is Princess? I mean, the name's great. Like, and I don't mean that, you know, who are you, what do you do thing, but what are the things, apart from spoken, or including spoken word, tell us what has led you to this place where you're writing the way you write, what made you, were you always interested in being, I don't know, a spoken word artist, were you always poetic, do you know what I mean?
Well, fun fact, a lot of people feel like spoken word artists are like very like top notch in English and stuff like that. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I failed GCSE English until I passed. Like, it was crazy. Bro, managed to scrape that C, like literally. But
you did that,
bro. I feel like I started writing letters. And never thought it was spoken word. I just thought, okay, it's a letter.
I think that's pretty romantic. I've always thought of a husband. Yeah. So dear husband out there. But like there's this thing like the writing letters is such a thing. It captures emotions and things. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I'll jump into it.
So yeah, like I was writing letters and I thought, okay, cool. So there was like a program, like an event, I think it was called Make It Happen or something like that, and I thought, you know what, like let me just write this piece with my friend. And then we performed it, and that was like the first time I actually ever performed a spoken word piece. And then from there I was just like, there's a lot of passion and confidence with what I'm saying in these pieces. Like, why don't I just share it, like, and spread it out, basically. And I think when I first started writing, it was almost like, okay, it's easier to write because it's my emotions and it's just coming out. But then it gets to a point where, okay, you kind of run out of emotions and things to talk about, and it's like,
say so much.
Exactly. So like, what can you say that is relatable to people out there? And that's the hardest thing to write, because it's like, although you've gone through it, somebody else would have gone through that same thing but in a different way. Absolutely. So how do you generalize it and make it touch different people in different ways? And it's something I would say is God, because there's no way I could have like come up with the things that I say in the piece, because sometimes I would look at the words and I'm like, wait, did I write that? Like, what? How? Like, I go back to it, I'm like, no, come on. It's just like, it's only God. Like, seriously.
It's I like that you say it's only God, because you write spoken word pieces that are not like the others, if you like. I mean, there are a lot of people who are spoken word gospel artists, if you like, if I'm allowed to use that. But I find that when I listen to your pieces, I find it captivating. But I don't know if it's because the words also resonate. Does it make sense? It's a great play of words and how you put it. Whereas sometimes it's like you place the listener on either side of the story. You're either director or the listener, or like, do you know what I mean? You place the listener in different perspectives, and I find that great. So because that really captivates me, and I always thought, that's good. I thought I was a bit poetic. But...
No, that's the aim. Like, I don't want it coming from just one direction. Like, I want everyone that's listening to it to say, okay, this touched me in this way, this touched me in that way. And that's where it brings me onto Big and like a testimonial from a friend. And
I want to go right into Big. Big is huge. This is what you guys have just heard. What inspired Big? How did we get to Big? It's a great title, and it's a different title. I mean, first it's like, when it's like Big, what's that? Big what? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
big money, big what? Big shoes?
Basically, how it came about is one day, like, I just wanted to write a few pieces. And I told my partner, I said, listen, can you give me words, like one word for each day, so I can just write, and give me a deadline. And he gave me a deadline of 9 p.m. each day. And one day he said, I said, give me a word. And he said, big. And I was like, big? Like, what about big? And he was like, okay, so how you are as a person, like, you're a big girl, but you're not upset about it. You're fine with it. And if you needed to change it, or if you wanted to change it, you could, like, and you're starting to become confident in what you do and what you wear. So why don't you just make this piece about like you, but then it's almost like relating to other big girls, and it's like making them feel confident as well. And I was just like, okay, cool. So kid you not, I wrote that piece in like 15 minutes. And it was crazy. I was like,
I love that.
So then I sent it to him at 9 p.m. and he was just like, no, this has to come out. Like, this, I was just like, is it that deep though? Like, I didn't really think about it too tough. And then I was just like, okay, cool, let's put it out. And then the response, it's been crazy. Wow.
What are some of the things since releasing it, what are some of the things that have kind of touched you or popped out? Like, what are people saying? What's been the reception? If you can kind of cast your mind back.
Okay, so I have this friend called Victory. She basically, when she heard it, she was like, well, this piece is amazing. This piece is not just for like big people. Like I'm not big, but it resonated with me in a different way. Like it made me feel like, okay, I can do what I need to do. I'm confident as well. There's so many things, like you have a big heart. It's not just to do with like body size and stuff like that. And I thought about it, I was like, wow, like this thing is not just the word big is a statement. It's a title. It's almost like you have princess this or prince that or king this or queen that. But it's like, okay, big, like you're big in everything. You're successfully big. You're big in love. You're big in like everything you do. Like even with like that word, it's like, okay, people may call you big, but you could have the biggest hugs and the most amazing hugs because you're big.
Holla.
And it's like, if it was someone else, it'd be like, okay, your hug's not really that great, like kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, so it's almost like holding that high, like holding that bigness high and proud, and not letting anyone else tell you that it's a bad thing, because it's not.
Right. And that's really important, because you're using that to empower people, because it sounds like that's what's happened with your friend Victory. She's been empowered to think differently, and to kind of tap into other things within her life that she's like, I have this to offer.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is what I can do with the big, in quote, doesn't make sense. I was thinking, being from, I don't know, like, at what point did you have a turnaround in the word and image? Because naturally, especially for women, big was never really a positive word. At what point does one have a turnaround to say, you know what, I'm going to change the narrative and flip the script on you, in fact, because that's what you've done. Do you get it? At what point did that happen for you? Were you working on yourself personally also, whilst the journey was going on? Tell us about it.
Okay, so Gloria, you've known me since I was like 14.
Since you were in a diaper,
like literally like 13, 14 years old.
Have.
And
it's great to see you here.
And you saw me like covering up. You saw me in tracksuits. You saw me in guys' clothes, like literally. And I thought to myself, because I'm big, like I might as well hide myself, like because I can't wear tight clothes and be comfortable. Like I'm seeing roles, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. And then it wasn't until literally the end of 2019 where I was like, why do I need to hide myself? Like, because it got so bad where I'd be with my friends and they're slim, and I was like the only big girl there, and it's like I'd come home and be upset, like, oh my days, like, wow, what
big in comparison to them, of course.
Yeah, big in comparison to them. Yeah. And I was just like, but why? Like, and then I was like, nah, I can't do this. So the turnaround for me was like, I can see someone that is slimmer than me, and I can wear the same thing in a different way. Like, I can make it my own. So why do I need to let someone else tell me, oh, you're big, so you can't eat this? Sorry? Hello babies, what is happening? No, like you can't, like
right.
And I feel like I turned big into a good thing, because like I was saying before, like there's so many things to be proud of when you're big. And not only like the word big it means greatness.
Yeah.
The word big is like you're doing things 10 times bigger than someone else. And I don't know, like the turning point was me just saying, listen, like I'm gonna own this. Do you get it? I'm gonna own my body. Like there's no point in hiding away from it. It's on me, like it's attached. Like I can't get it off unless I do something about it if I want to.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, one of the last lines was like, you can't take it off. You can only like do something on your own terms. That you don't lose that weight on your own terms. Don't let someone say, oh, lose weight, and then you're now struggling. No, because you're not doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it for the wrong reasons. And it's like when you make that decision to change, then cool. Even when you're slim now, I would still say, what? I'm big. I'm what? Like, come on, like, it is what it is. But yeah.
That's incredible because you have to find that place for yourself as an individual, as much as you're kind of on this journey to be healthy or to do whatever you're doing with your life. Of course, the idea, everybody needs to be healthy. Everybody should be healthy, right? So, but you're doing it for you and your own personal goals rather than being hinged on the idea of trying to look like somebody else because of, I don't know, a vain reason. And you're not, because what it seems, what with you've not let the people around you kind of say, you know what, I should be skinny because everybody around me is skinny. Yeah. Right. And I'm just wondering, how did you deal with that in terms of adults and parents? Because parents, I know they've always had 2 cents to say. I've been there, like you made me eat a lot when I was a kid. Now you want to have a conversation. But the funny thing is, even the slimmer, my sister is extremely slim. Well, not extremely anymore. But when she was constantly being told to eat. You know, like they were never quite happy. You were either that or that, and they were just never quite happy. It was either you're too slim or you're too big or whatever. So how important is it for individuals to shut that noise out? And what can you tell them? How can they shut that noise out and try to focus on their own self and their internal peace, so that they can navigate rightly and not be influenced by the noise around them? Because that noise will exist sometimes. You get it? Was writing for you? I don't know if it was. What are things that can help take away that noise, and can you just delve into something and focus your energy into something else? Or how would you advise? Yeah.
I would say it's, first of all, like when it's coming from a parent, it's harder because they feed you with these things, and then when you get older, they're looking at their handiwork and they're like, well, no, you need to change it now, but you gave me these things. Hello.
So parents gotta get it right. They need to get it right from the beginning.
Yeah. Basically. I feel like how to shut out the noise. I think find what makes you happy. For me, like it's listening to music or seeing things that I like and either buying them or making them or just making yourself like stay in a state of happiness. Because if you don't, then you would start to listen and dwell on the things that people are saying to you, and then you will act upon it. And this is where like serious things happen, and you don't want to get to that stage. So I feel like mental health is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And blocking out the noise, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. I mean, it took me God knows how long. Like I'm 24 now, and it's still
16.
Thank you. But it's taken me a long time, and it's like a stepping stone every single time. You have to find something that really, like, you can really channel your energy in. Like, find something that you can maybe like start to become good at, and just when you focus on that, the noise won't even be noise anymore. Like, it will just be silence. Like, it won't be there anymore. It will just be non-existent. Because when people do say some things that hurt, like, you have to be in that mental state where, okay, I've it's brushed off. Like, okay, you're saying this because you're ignorant. You don't know me. You don't know what's happening. So I don't need to retaliate to what you're saying, because I'm still happy within myself. And
I like to apply the Christian principle of waging war, taking with you prophecy and waging war. So it's like the idea is you counter whatever's coming at you with words, the right words, like what you know to be true, what is about yourself, as opposed to what everybody else is kind of spitting out at you. And then you kind of maybe find peace. In effect, find peace. And just live a worry-free life. Like,
I feel like sometimes
there's so much to be grateful for.
100%.
You got limbs, you got
100%.
You're breathing. Like, there's so much to be grateful for. In the face of adversity, you've overcome your achievements. Do you know what I mean? There's so much more in life to be grateful for. whilst we press on to be better at certain things, we also can tap it. We should actually focus on where we are now, appreciate what we have right now,
and I
appreciate
feel
where
like
we are.
Sometimes like a way to kind of like, even if it like the punch does hurt, you kind of shield it with smartness and wittiness.
It's gotta be good.
So like,
I call it shade.
For real. Like, if someone's saying, "Oh, like you're big," okay, tell me something I don't know. Like, I see every.
I'm like, I'm glad you got eyes that
you
see.
Get it?
Is
like,
that here and a heart that really understands me right now? Because this shade is coming right back to you.
It's so funny because I get an experience where like I'd be in church and like maybe they're sharing cake. And some auntie or uncle comes to, like you shouldn't.
Save me, Lord Jesus.
You shouldn't be eating that. Says who? Is it your mouth? Hello? Like, what was, sorry?
With the most reverent voice, of course.
With the
most reverent
but it's
voice.
Like, okay, like, you're not my mom, you're not my dad. Like, don't be telling me what I can and cannot eat. Like, you didn't bring me into this world. So,
and I think you're right. You have a point in that. There's also a lot of misconceptions people have. People sometimes see somebody looking big on the outward and they're thinking, oh my God, it's because you eat too much. You don't know what the underlying issues might be. It could be genetic. It could be health. It could be in some kind of meds that's making the person go big at that time.
Exactly.
So
and I don't have to explain to you every single time or explain to different people why I am the way I am.
Yeah.
There's no point.
Yeah. Exactly. You focus on you, be better, do better by yourself.
100%.
I mean, I love this. It's incredible to have you here, of course. I love the subject. It's great. Great subject matter. So, Princess, if people were trying to get into your field of work, well, not work, but your art, it's an art. Where can this start? Like, what's the story? Like, because, I told you I'm quite poetic. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Right. What are the steps? The hows? What do I go and open a Bible if I'm trying to be a spoken word gospel artist? Or what do I do? Do I watch a movie, music? What's gonna pull it out of me?
Okay. How
dictionary,
do I get
so I can find like oxymorons and all sorts of words.
Okay,
and synonyms
I'll
out there.
tell you what I do. So if I think of a subject, like for inspiration, I'd either go on YouTube and type. Let's say I wanted to write a piece about big, basically. I would go on the internet. I'd be like, okay, spoken word piece about big people or about this, and like find things that I can listen to and then like find inspiration from there. If not, I would listen to a type of mood music just to set me and get me going and get the flow running. And also, like, the most important one is the Word of God, like, because it has see the Bible has everything you need. See all the questions that you want to ask, the answers all in the Bible. Like,
I think there's a section of the Bible that's quite poetic too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, go.
Like, so I get, when I listen to different pastors preach and different sermons, I get inspiration from them, what Jesus did and what different people, like inspirations from different people's stories in the Bible. And I'm like, okay, this person tackled this situation in this way, like and it's relatable to everything that's happening now. So let me use that and the words I've heard and literally just make a masterpiece.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Mastering peace.
Come on.
I love it. I admire the art. I love it. It's those of us that love words, it literally hits us harder. Doesn't make sense. It's it hits us real hard. And I'm so grateful to God, for giving you and bringing this gift out of you, because it wasn't always obvious. We talked about knowing you since you're 14. If anything, you were more inclined to music. To an extent, I guess, being around the music, the drummers and everything. To get But for you to be here and writing, and to not only writing and keeping it to yourself, but sharing with the world, it's an incredible talent and gift to be able to do. So great, way to go! Congratulations! All the accolades. Thank you for coming on. Just one last word for our listeners today. Give us a word of wisdom, a spoken word line. I'm not even gonna try to do it because you're like up there right now, so I'm not even gonna try. But take it away.
Okay, my word of wisdom is that anything you do in this life, just do it big. Like, be your best version. Like, there's no one else that can stop you but you. Like, if you're running a race, you're running a race against yourself, not anybody else. So don't compare yourself. Just because this person does this in a certain way doesn't mean you have to, because you could get to that same destination quicker or faster if you did it in a different way. Always like, be attentive to the spirit. Like God's got you till the end. Like, don't worry. For big girls, slim girls, guys, everyone out there, big is not a bad thing. Big is not the worst thing ever. In fact, it's the best thing. Like, one of my lines say, big is the sexiest thing you'll ever see in your life. 100%. Because big is not just big in size. Like, big is everything. Big is exactly personality, success, love. Honestly, just be you, be happy, stay happy.
And the next time somebody calls you big, you better be glad.
Be glad. Love it. Like, own it. It's a title. It's your title. And always remember to be relevant, stay relevant, and build a legacy.
Oh, I like that. Be relevant, stay relevant, and build a legacy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Princess, for joining me today in Spirit Storm. You heard it, guys. Where can we find you, actually?
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at Princess Jiboye, and I also have a spoken word website, and it is www. Wait. I can't. Sorry. Okay. The website is www.pjspeaks.me.
pjspeaks.me. www.pjspeaks.me. Thank you. It's great. We're fine. We can bloops out here. But thank you for coming on. I'm looking forward to more pieces from you. You're an inspiration.
Thank you.
I love what God is doing in and through you. So, guys, make sure you follow her, find her. You probably find her through our page also. But if not, she just told you the Instagram account details. And she's also on YouTube. So if you're a YouTuber, subscribe. But thank you for joining us. Until next time, join me back on Spirit Storm with Gigi. God bless.